Australians are inspired to understand their democracy.
You listen to D.I.Wireless, an Aussie punk rock podcast. Check it out, mate.
Working 28 years for the company. Will I ever be secure financially? I don't know, gonna have to wait and see.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 40 of D.I.Wireless, and our guest this episode has actually been playing in bands since around 1993, but most notably over the last sort of 15 years. Has played shows and released records and toured with bands like Coronation, Death in the Family and Fear Like Us, and also Tire Swans, but he has now gone the solo route and is now promoting his new album, King of the Sun. Our guest this episode for DI Wireless is Jamie Hay. Jamie, thanks very much for joining us via phone from Melbourne. How are you, mate?
Oh, no worries. I'm doing well.
You're actually taking a break from the King of the Sun tour at the moment. You're pretty much right in the middle of it. How's the tour been so far?
It's been great. Basically, it's just been Tasmania and Melbourne so far. So it's just a little bit spread out over the months. But yeah, the show's been great. Both Lincoln and I's records released at the same time, and it's been a really good response. So yeah, we head off to Brisbane, Rockhampton, and Byron this weekend coming. So really can't wait for that. It's gonna be fun.
Being on the road with Lincoln, and I must admit, I had to check in with Jamie on the pronunciation of his last name. It's Lincoln Lefevre. Even just a couple of shows. How's it been with being on the road with Lincoln? Because I know that you do go back a little bit, and you've got a bit of history there. But sharing the road to just the two of you has been good.
Yes, it's been great. He's got his band with him as well, and we've got a few kind of a bit of an entourage these days. It's not just him and I. So
has the band been playing with you on stage as well, Jamie, or has it just been his band accompanies him, or is there? I hear there's been like sort of a bit of interaction between the two sets as you go along. Yeah,
well, it was only Liam and I in Tasmania, but the show in Melbourne, Matt and Lombi and Carl were there. So for the album launch in Melbourne, we had all the guys on stage, which was awesome. And Matt can't make it to Brisbane and so on. So Anders from Arrows is going to play drums for us there. So
you're sort of relying on the various friends that you've picked up along the years to chip in and be able to fill slots.
Well, initially it was going to be Anders playing drums, but because he was living in Melbourne, but then he moved back to Brisbane, so that made it hard. And obviously the next man in line was Bodes, but I thought he wouldn't want to kind of do anything for a while because he had this new pub going and stuff like that. But no, he came to the party, and it's good to have all these mates that have played with him bands or played with their bands over the years, and to kind of jump in.
And how have your songs, have you felt they've sort of gone over in the first couple of shows? You've obviously trial tested them in previous shows, but this is the actual, the tour for King of the Sun. How have the songs from the new album gone over in the first couple of shows?
Really good. I think I recall, people sing along to some of the new songs at the Melbourne show, which is really nice, and it's always a bit of a tester, you can hear people singing along. It's a good thing. Always warms your heart. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to heading back to Brizzy, because Brisbane's kind of always been one of those places I go to and always have a really awesome show, and everyone's really excited and stuff. So yeah, that night should be good fun.
It's good to hear that someone's going to enjoy my old hometown as much as I used to. So We'll get to the point in the show, mate, where we allowed you to play some music. And speaking of Lincoln, I think it'd be a good opportunity to play one of his songs because you were keen to play one of his for the people who are out there listening. So this is just one of your favourite ones of his that you really enjoy?
Yeah, this one's definitely a standout. When we were travelling in Tassie, I just had to tell him, just like, yeah, the song is just kills me, and everyone that I speak to actually, like, or like, yeah, play Driftwood. It's yeah, it's a great song, and yeah, just the man knows how to write a tune.
I saw you fall overboard. I pray that you find your way before you petrify and stay washed up in white, discarded out of sight. No one else can make this right. Darling, lay down in someone else's nest. Although you'll win, you'll lose it all again. 'Cause that's how it ends when they find your skeletons uncovered when the rain sets in. And you can't trust your friends not to do what you did to them. And now you're fucked up and alone again. 'Cause that's how it ends when they find your skeletons uncovered when the rain sets in. And you can't trust your friends not to do what you did to them. And now you're fucked up and alone again.
That was Lincoln Lefevre on D.I.Wireless, and we're speaking with his touring mate at the moment, Jamie Hay, who are the both of them doing the rounds in the midst of doing the rounds of Australia on the King of the Sun tour. Of course, named after Jamie's new record. And I had to ask, was it your intention to name your new record after the legendary 80s hair rock band called King of the Sun?
No, it was just a great coincidence.
Hey, punk, go out and get yourself some black leather.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Another thing I came across is not only that, but not too long after, the one and only, we are actually talking about legends this time, the legendary Chris Bailey and What He's Got Left of the Saints actually released a record, and it was called King of the Sun as well.
I know. I couldn't believe it. I actually came across that after after my record was announced. I think someone pointed it out, and I just couldn't believe it. I was like, what's the chances of two Australian bands putting out the same album title?
Are you waiting for the summons?
No, I think it should be fine.
Well, speaking of that, what was the reason for naming the record King of the Sun? What's the personal reason?
Well, I don't really like to. I don't know. It's a personal thing. I don't really like to name a album title after a song. It just to me seems really lazy, and so then that's why I done this. No, it was just, I don't know. I guess I couldn't get it out of my head. I guess the song that I wrote and just the title. I guess it kind of wrapped everything up in one. Because as I think people know, a lot of the songs are pretty depressing at times. I think there's still a lot of hope in the songs, and so I thought King of the Sun, the title, would resonate about what the record's about. So
I've joked with you before, Jamie, asking if there'll be any sort of happy sing-alongs on the new record, and but I do know that there's always been some quite deep undertones in the way you go about your music, both in doing your solo stuff and even in previous bands. Is it just? Are you just a serious guy when it comes to sort of your inspirations and your songwriting? Is that just sort of how it comes across when you sit down to write?
Yeah, I think it's probably the only time I'm serious, to be honest. I just talk a lot of crap a whole lot of the time and just try and make my friends laugh all the time. So I think when I pick up a guitar, I guess I feel like to me it's like a cathartic thing. I kind of get a lot of things out by writing music, and I guess I've just done that ever since I started writing music, so I guess it's my shtick in a way. It's as serious as I think anyone should be, but I'm a bit of a goof most of the time, but when it comes to writing music, I'm pretty serious about it, yeah.
One song I wanted to ask about in particular is The Gift of Years, which is pretty much a song that's you actually sing it basically unaccompanied, other than some people jumping in and doing some harmonies on the vocals. Is that a cover, or is that's an original?
That is a cover. That's a Eric Bogle song. I actually had done that live a few times in the past, and when it came time to do the record, I wanted to add that on there because I wanted to have a record that wasn't just all, acoustic guitar and vocals, every song with some accompaniment here and there. I wanted to, have it kind of moving and changing a lot, so I thought that would be just something good to add to the record to give it a bit more depth, change it up.
Well, old friend, here I am. I told you I'd be back. And as usual, mate, I'm bloody late. It's 75 years down the track. And for the last time, here I stand in this familiar foreign land.
And the actual content of the song itself, was it, from my understanding or from listening to the song, it's basically a recollection of two people discussing their difficulty with war back in the day. Was there any reason that was content that you wanted to make sure that you had on the album?
Well, more so like it's a song that I think is just incredibly. The lyrics are incredibly powerful, and the first time I heard it, it blew me away. As do many Eric Bogle songs, but I guess like my experience is my dad is a Vietnam vet, and so that stuff kind of means a lot to me. So that's probably the only reason why I would sing a song like that. Kind of understanding of what him and a lot of people have gone through, and that's for me probably the only reason.
You just mentioned it was important to you to change up the flow of the record in relation to how it sort of sounded. Were you actually cautious from making things different from the other stuff that you've done with an acoustic guitar on record before, with Fear Like Us and with Tire Swans? When you actually sat down and you thought, I'm going to write a record on my own, were you cautious of trying to make things different from what you did previously with those other groups?
Yeah, and it was more just doing a full length record, and I was just really cautious of it being too samey, you know. I wanted to. That's why I got the guys in to play on songs like with a full band kind of thing, and then banjo song, and I don't know. I was just very cautious of first full length record and it just being a bit on the plateau, you know. So definitely went into it with a bit more forethought than I've probably gone into anything else I've done.
The end result is fantastic, mate. But we're going to switch things up now and play some more music now. Probably something that's quite a fair way away from your acoustic songs that you're taking out on the road right now. Is a band called Burning Love from my new adopted country of Canada. You're going to play one of their songs now. You're obviously a pretty big fan of this record that came out this year.
Yeah, incredibly big fan. Like I've listened to this record probably at least once a week, at least. I just think it's where they nailed what they were kind of doing, you know. And the sound of it, it's just amazing. It's just completely raw and it just has that in your face punk hardcore sound, which I love. And you know, I've been a Chris Collier fan from way back with Left 4 Dead, and you know, from Left 4 Dead onwards. So it's like he's still doing amazing bands, and actually got to see them a few months ago here in Australia, which was amazing. Yeah, and this first song off this record is just killer.
That was Burning Love and the song No Love. We're still chatting to Jamie about his new album that's come out and, of course, the tour he's on right now. Now, I actually read an article from one of the latest guys who's sort of gone from the punk rock background into the acoustic form of performing, and that was actually, believe it or not, it was Russ Rankin from Good Riddance, and he was talking about starting out his solo stuff now and really wanting to avoid being the sort of cliched punk guy with an acoustic guitar. Now, are you sort of wary of this? You've had experience on your acoustic playing in Fear Like Us and playing with Tire Swan, so you've transitioned a lot earlier than a lot of people would think.
Yeah, I guess so. Like, I don't know how you can kind of separate the two, because I don't know, I'll always probably be a punk guy playing acoustic guitar, you know. And I don't know how you could expect people to kind of just split the two in half and forget about the rest. But you know, it's actually more the point for me. It was probably my experience in playing in Devonport in Tasmania. We played this show that was like a seated thing, and I was really conscious because I was just thinking like, I'm just this like dude that just gets up there and kind of yells and strums his guitar. People are probably going to think like, oh, you know, who is this dude? Like, what's he doing? But after the show, I had great response and people loved it and sold more CDs that night than I did any other night of that tour. So that was a good learning curve to not just kind of assume that you're just this kind of, you know, punk dude that no one else is going to listen to except the punks, you know.
It's quite interesting you say that, because it brings me to my next question, because are you actually hopeful to play shows beyond people who are familiar with you from the punk and hardcore scene? Because I know, for example, your good friend Darren Gibson has gone out on the road with Xavier before, and even Lincoln has received, you know, some more general response from general audiences from Triple J. Are you sort of hopeful that perhaps you could step out of the regular sort of touring circuit that you've become accustomed to in punk and hardcore, and perhaps play some shows for people that might not even know that you're in any of those previous bands?
Yeah, well, I guess from the experience that I just kind of told you about, that was a real eye opener, and it's made me kind of I don't know, it was just a different experience than playing a show where I know people have come to see me play. But that show, there was a lot of people that hadn't heard me or Lincoln before, you know. So yeah, you know, like I've always been kind of keen to play anywhere to anyone. Doesn't really matter to me. I wouldn't see myself doing it to a John Butler or anything like that. But yeah, I'm definitely open to any kind of show.
Are you saying you'd turn down a John Butler show?
Probably. I don't know.
You mentioned Eric Bogle. Is there anyone, particularly Australian-based, you know, is there anyone else that is, from a singer-songwriting perspective, is an influence?
Look, Eric Bogle pretty much takes the cake on everyone there. You know, I used to go and see him, like, with my dad and you know, try to go beer for beer with my dad, watching Eric Bogle, and then just kind of dropping my bundle and like crying at some of his songs because I'm so drunk and stuff. So he's the man. But you know, obviously Paul Kelly is another guy who's, you know, great respect for and draw a lot of inspiration from. And also more recently, actually, thanks to my wife, been listening to a lot of Dan Sultan. Love that guy's voice. We went and saw him play this year, and yeah, it was incredible. So yeah, those guys are definitely up there for me.
And I'm sure the guys that you're about to play next are good friends, but obviously, you know, I'm sure you draw some inspiration from having them around and playing shows with them as well. I'm talking about the guys from Arrows, of course, from Brisbane. And we're going to play one of their songs called All Passwords of Brisbane. You share a label together with these guys, but they're obviously just good friends and people whose music you do respect.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, yep. Yeah, great friends and love that band. They're amazing. And this new song off their new split, I've been playing it to death and can't wait for the shows this weekend with those guys. It's going to be awesome.
got other plans.
That was Arrows, and all passwords are Brisbane. And we're rounding out our episode 40 and our feature interview with Jamie Hay. Obviously, King of the Sun's on right now. You've got coming up, Jamie, you've got a tour with Austin Lucas and PJ Bond, who are, of course, from the States. What are you most looking forward to about this particular tour coming up?
Actually, the amount of shows, it's going to be the most of January. So from the 3rd onwards. So yeah, we'll be out playing pretty much every night that we can, which will be really fun, and to meet those guys and to see them play, it'll be amazing. So yeah, really looking forward to that tour.
You're familiar with their music as well?
Yeah, definitely. I've been listening to Austin for a few years, but yeah, more recently PJ, and yeah, they're both great. I'm really psyched to see them.
On the other side of things, you've got another, quite significant tour coming up after that. It's actually called the Hits and Pits Tour, which you're tagging along to. Now, that's actually going to feature some bands like a Wilhelm Scream, traditionally punk bands, I guess. I think the Flatliners are playing, but there's some acoustic acts that are playing other than yourself, which includes Australia's sort of pop punk heroes of a few years back. $1 Short are going to be playing acoustically, and Diesel Boy from back in the day. I'm guessing it's going to be Diesel Dave is going to be playing acoustic as well. Can we expect some collaboration on stage with these guys when you go around on the Hits and Pits tour, or do you think some $1 Short covers might bust out on the acoustic guitars?
Oh, well, I don't know. We can only wait and see. My good friend Jen Buxton's going to be on the tour as well, so we can definitely say that we'll be playing some songs together as we usually do. So yeah, it'll be an interesting tour, that one. That'll be fun.
You're more than happy, of course. I'm sort of poking a bit of fun, but you're more than happy to tag along. You get an opportunity to probably play in front of some quite big audiences.
Yeah, for sure. That's it. And, again, be a lot of people that would never have heard of us, and yeah, it'll be exciting. It's fun. And
that tour is going on, I think, in March, is it?
Yeah, it goes March into April. Late March into early April, yeah.
An absolutely very busy start to the year for Jamie, and we thank you very, very much for taking the time to sit down with us, mate. We appreciate it, and congratulations, King of the Sun. It is a fantastic record.
Thank you, not a problem. It's been a pleasure.
And we're actually going to go out playing a song from King of the Sun. It's pretty much up to you, whichever one is one you'd like to feature for people, or one that is, an integral part of the set that you'd like to play.
Well, what's your favourite? It's hard for me.
It's actually the title track. We were discussing it earlier that, you thought that was the best summation of sort of everything that had gone into the entire record. So this is King of the Sun, the title track from the record. Jamie, once again, thanks very much for joining D.I.Wireless, and we wish you all the best on the road.
Thanks, Ron. Thanks for each, mate.
my name, I've crossed my fingers in knots. I'll wait here till I'm king of the sun. I am just a shadow in your room. There are cracks where the sun shines through. Tell me, when will this be over? Tell me, when will this be over? Tell me, when will this be over? Tell me why. Some have sewn their mouths or opened their wrists. I'll stay strong.